Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen Aset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and leave us a positive comment in the comment section. So, I'm going to talk to you guys about something that's rather heavy, rather intense. And I hate talking about heavy stuff, but it's so necessary sometimes. But I don't want to cry and mess up my makeup. But let's just chat about this, okay? A young lady said to me a couple of days ago that she really wants to change her life. And I had posted something about this over the weekend, a little meme about it. So she said to me that she really wants to change her life. She's 34 years old. And I'm going to be real with y'all. She's had a really hard life. She has, dated certain men just to get money. She has danced, exotic danced. She's stolen from people. She slept on couches. She dealt with a lot of poverty, basically, and a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect. I mean, it started from the time she was born. And in order to survive, she's made some choices that she's not proud of. Okay? She's 34 now, and she wants to change. She actually has started to change. She got a job recently, and it's not glamorous. I think she says she works at Walmart. It's not glamorous, but it's a job. And it's the first real job she's ever had. Usually she just hustled in some kind of way. So she said to me, is it too late? She said, I'm 34 years old. I'm practically middle-aged, which I was laughing because I'm 43 and I'm like, girl, please, I would give anything to be 34 again. But she was just saying, is it too late? Is it too late to change? It's too late to turn things around. She's like, people in her family, and this is one of the things I really dislike about family. Anybody that knows me knows I don't hold family in this high regard. Some people hold family in this high regard, blood is thicker than water kind of thing. And I really don't. I pretty much hold everybody on the same keel. And the people in your life, friends, family, sometimes friends are family. Sometimes family is not family. I judge each one on the one. Everybody that knows me knows that's how I do it. And I do that because some of the times that mentality about family is how a lot of people get screwed by their family. And once I realized that, I came back off of that belief system. Because I was raised like that. I was raised, my grandmother would roll over in her grave right now to listen to me say that. I was raised with the blood is thicker than water, stand by your family kind of concept. And to a certain extent, I still do. But I gotta check on it. I got a real check on it. And that's one of the things that's happening with her is that her family, the people that's supposed to be there for her, are putting her down and telling her, oh, you can't change and you can't teach an old dog new tricks and you'll be right back out there in the street again. Why would you say that to that girl when she's trying to change her life? She's trying. For the first time in her life, she has a job. She's trying, She's not trying to live off somebody or beat somebody in the head or, whatever the case is. She's trying to make her own money and make her own way. She's a little old, but she's doing it is the point. And this is what I told her as she was asking me about it, because she was like, you think I'm too old? And I'm like, I don't think there is a too old. You're older, but I don't think there's a too old. I have a good friend. I've known him since I was like 20 something years old. And when we were in our 20s, he was working. He always had a job, but he did not find his niche. He did not find his superpower, as I would call it, until he was like 44 years old. He spent all that time trying to find himself and never really did. He was almost, look at that, 44 is almost 50 before he found his soul's passion. He's a photographer now. He's a world famous photographer. He works for the NFL, Temple University. He's shot for the Obamas. I mean, he is world famous at this point, but he was self-taught. He had nothing at 44 but a dream and a camera. And he decided that that's what he was going to do, and he got out there and did it. And now he's almost 50, so he's been doing this for a couple years now. He's almost 50 now, and he's one of the, I mean, his eye is amazing. I've never seen a photographer with an eye like this. And I'm not just saying that because he's my friend. I'm saying that because he is an artist. He is an artist. He took my pictures. He did a whole photo spread for me one time. He's done my friends. He's done weddings. I mean, he just is amazing. And I have a lot of respect for him. He's a Virgo. And he taught himself at 40-something years old how to do this technique. Techniques, I guess, is more than one for photography. So I said to her, I don't think you're ever too old. I mean, I know people in their 50s who jumped up and decided they wanted to try something new. You know, I don't think you're ever too old. I didn't know that I knew how to paint. I'm a really decent abstract impressionist painter. And I didn't know I knew how to paint till I was 40. All my life I had thought about it. Like, I would see other people painting and I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like on The Notebook, the lead character paints. And when I saw that movie in my 20s, 30s, I was like, oh, that's really cool. You know, whenever I saw somebody painting, Klaus on the originals, he painted. And whenever I saw a person painting, I was always very drawn to it. But I never took it as something I could do until I was 40 years old. And I was doing this book. The book is called The Artist Way. I recommend this book. It's by, I think her name is Julie Cameron. I'll put the link underneath this video. But anyway, I was doing that book, and it was like a 12-week course on how to find your inner artist. And one of the things she had us do was go on what she calls an artist date. So every week you take yourself by yourself on a date to do something artistically related. So I went to the art museum. I took a belly dancing class. I did a whole bunch of different stuff. And one week I decided to go to a painting with a twist party. This is a party where everybody sits around and paints a picture and drinks wine. One artist teaches everybody how to paint this one picture. So I went thinking, okay, this will fulfill my artist date and my assignment for this week, but I didn't expect to love it and to be as good at it as I ultimately found out I was at 40 years old. So some of the times you're older when you figure out what your passion is. So I told her it's never too late. There was a movie that Tom Cruise did. And this is what really drove this home for me. I saw this movie in my 20s. And one of the lines, it was only an okay movie, but one of the lines in the movie stuck with me for the rest of my life. The movie was called Vanilla Sky. And the line was, no matter what, every second that you're alive, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know if the line went exactly like this, but it was like, no matter what, every second that you're alive is a chance to turn things around. And that stuck with me. Like, no matter what, as long as you're breathing, you can turn things around. No matter where you are in life. I don't care where that is. If you're in jail, if you're in bed, sick, if you're just a cashier at Walmart, you know, no matter what, no matter where you are, no matter where your circumstances and your decisions more so have led you, you can turn things around. You can change things for the better at any time. So I told her not to listen to her family because they're tripping. And the truth is that, okay, maybe in the past you've made mistakes. Maybe in the past you've done things you're not proud of. I've done things I'm not proud of. I thought of the same thing when it was time for me to be a priestess. I was getting this calling to ordain to be a priestess, to go through the initiation to be a priestess. And I kept saying, I'll do it when I'm good enough. That's what I kept thinking up here. When I'm good enough, when I'm good enough, when I'm good enough. And I kept pushing it off, like, okay, when I'm good enough, when I'm good enough. And finally, it was just like, no, you got to do this and you got to do this now. And the bottom line is that it doesn't matter how long you've been going in the wrong direction. It doesn't matter how long you've been dancing, selling weed. It doesn't matter how long you've been embezzling from your office. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing something. You can always stop and turn things around. When I was a kid, there was a woman that lived across the street. She smoked so much crack. I mean, so much crack. She had several. I don't remember the final count of how many babies she had because I moved away and she was still having babies. And I don't remember the final count. I think it was like when I left, it might have been like 5. And they were all born addicted to crack cocaine. And for years after that, she kept using. 15 years later, she decided, I don't think she just decided, but because I think during that time she had been trying to get clean. Finally, after 15 years, when I came back home, I saw her and she was clean. She had jewelry on, y'all. And when I knew her, she pawned everything. She would have never had no jewelry on. Her hair was done. She had earrings on. And I was like, man, look at her. She had turned her life around. She got off the drugs. She gained about 20 pounds. She looked amazing. And she had reclaimed her life. So I don't care what you're into. I don't care where you are in your life. I don't care if it's that extreme of a case or you're just somebody who's not where they want to be. Wherever you are in life, you can turn things around. All it takes is a decision. Like, I'm going to do this. And then you find practical ways to make it happen. I'm going to stop smoking crack. Okay, well, you need to go to a rehab. I'm going to stop dancing and start taking care of myself. Okay, so you got a job. That's what's up. What's next? Next, you need to get yourself a little efficiency apartment and keep climbing from there. So my point is, no matter where you are right now, that doesn't have to be where you stay. It took me 8 years to complete priestess training. Okay? Then it took me 8 more years to get where I am right now. So altogether, we're talking about 16 years of inner work that I had to do on myself to get to where I am, to a place where I'm proud of me. Because that's all it was. I wasn't trying to get to, a place for somebody else. I was trying to get to a place where I felt good, where I was proud of me, where I was happy. And it took me all this time. It took me 8 years to really get it going and to feel like I was in the right direction and feel good most of the time. And then the last 8 years has just been modifying, tweaking, polishing, working on that same version of me. And I'm not done, because I believe that you keep working on yourself as long as you're alive. So in 4 years, I hope to be better than I am today. So no matter where you are in life, if you want to change it, if you want to get better, don't listen to people tell you that you can't. Because those people are dealing with the old you. They're dealing with what you've shown them so far. And most of those people don't even know you, to be honest. They don't know what's really inside of you. Very few people really know you. And even the people that know you don't know everything about you. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know that you're capable of changing. They don't know any of those things. You know those things. So you can't depend on outside validation. Outside validation fucks a lot of people up. Give yourself internal validation. figure out what your goals are and make a comprehensive plan and follow your plan to your goals. Start small and climb up the ladder. Whatever that first step is, you know? So I know that a lot of people out there are sitting there like, damn, can I really pull this off? Yeah, you can. You can. Many people have done it. If you go to, for instance, I'll give you an example. One time, and then I'll let you guys go. One time I had to go to an NA meeting. A friend of mine was caught with some weed, okay, and had to go to these meetings to get out of trouble with the justice system. So we all went. You know, my friend, she got caught with her man. They both had to go. I was with them, so we all went. Chaw. The NA meeting was probably the saddest shit I've ever sat through in my life. I swear to you. I don't think I would ever touch a hard drug after going through that, okay? It was sad. Listening to people talk about selling their body, selling their kids' belongings, you know, stealing from their grandma. I mean, just the stories. I was in there for an hour and I couldn't wait to leave. It was the saddest thing in the world. But the one thing that I thought was really cool was all of the sponsors were telling their stories of triumph. So they had been in the same place that these other addicts were currently in. But they were 5, 10, 15, 20 years clean. So they were able to tell them stories about the road to sobriety. And I was just sitting there like, and this was towards the end when they started this part, because the whole first part was, you know, people standing up saying who they were, what their, you know, drug of choice was, and then going into their story. So at the very end of the hour and a half, whatever it was, the sponsors started to speak. And they had the same testimony, but they did the work. They did the work to change their lives. So I just want to tell you that no matter what you've done, no matter what you've been through, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter how many warrants you got, no matter what you did or what you're doing, you can turn things around. The first step is to stop what you're doing, get whatever supports you need to stop what you're doing, and make a plan, make a decision to follow your plan. Okay? So don't let people tell you you can't. Those people just don't know what you can do. But you can show them better than you can tell them. Don't try to convince people of what you can and cannot do. Just do it. And they'll see after you're done. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you would like a reading done, please email me and I'll hook you up. Other than that, please come back soon because I have so much more to say. You wouldn't believe how much more I have to say. See you later.